Hey guys, welcome to the video. I did a test a couple of weeks ago now on the DJI Mini 2 with a battery test, seeing how good that battery was in sports mode. And the battery did really well. It did about 11 minutes and that was in sports mode. We saw how fast it could go and how long it could last in a really fun mode like sports mode. But what about in normal mode? So I've come today to test out the DJI Mini 2 with the stock battery to see how long it performs in real world scenarios. We've got quite a bit of wind today, 25-mile-an-hour winds. We're going to be flying it around the beach, over some houses, keeping it relatively close to us, just in normal day-to-day flying conditions, like you would expect. And then you can decide whether you think you need an extra battery or will the one battery be enough. DJI says that this drone will do 31 minutes, which we know it's going to get nowhere near that because that's like perfect conditions. But it'd be good if we can get that high 18-19 minute mark, maybe pushing 20 minutes from that battery in real world conditions like today. So let's go and find out. So for this test, we've got strong winds, up to 34-mile-an-hour winds. So this drone is going to be blown about all over the place. So let's get that timer started and see how well this drone can do. So to get the very best time out of this drone, you should hover in place or go really slowly or keep it really close to you. But that is not a real world test and is incredibly boring. So I'm going to be doing different things with this drone, just like you would if you was flying this drone yourself and wanting to see what that battery life is like in normal mode. So I'm going to do some 4K, some 2.7K 60, some photos, some quick shots, just real world scenario, keeping it relatively close, but what you would expect in a high Wi-Fi area also like this. And as from the previous video, it is cold today, so all this is being shot from inside the car. But just looking at that attitude indicator, look how much this drone is getting blown about already by this wind. So is this going to have an impact on the battery life? It's getting blown about, it's being completely thrown all over the place, but it's still really nice smooth footage. So first thing we'll do now is test out that 2x zoom and that smooth 4K footage. Check this out. That 2x zoom is such a game changer. We're still at the same height, 29 meters, but it gives such a different illusion. About to zoom in that much straight from the drone is remarkable. So segments of this video like that will be sped up, but I've also got a timer running in the background. So we're going to keep looking back at the timer and see how long this battery is going to do. But so far 86% in these winds, still performing really well. Let's try a few photos now. So I've got my CPL ND filter and I'm going to link it in the description below, and I'm going to show you differences between auto and using the manual by changing that shutter speed to get a little bit of a sharper and better image. But what the CPL filter does, it just makes the picture pop a lot more and get a bit more vibrance in the blues in the sky and the sea. So all these shots are with that CPL filter. It's just when you put it into manual mode, you've got more options and you can get a clearer and better image, I feel, by adjusting that shutter speed and the ISO. So we're now at over 5 minutes, so it's doing pretty well so far. The battery's still 78%, but this wind is causing problems. If you look now at this speed, this drone is hardly moving in normal mode. So what I'm going to have to do is quickly put it into sports mode. I just want to see if I can get it over the sea, but obviously keeping it in normal mode, it's just going to keep coming back to me. Unfortunately, it's just not powerful enough when you got strong winds to keep it in normal mode, and that's what this test is all about. So just about 5 seconds there in sports mode. I'm going to put it back and just hover it either over the sea or just around these buildings. Unfortunately, over the sea, it's just far too windy today, and that's unfortunately a drawback with this drone. So let's check out a few more pictures. This object here in the middle of the park, again, we'll just lower this down, just doing a few more things, just as you would, keeping it real world. There's the auto and that CPL filter in manual mode. You can just see everything's sharper, a bit more vibrance, having that option, a bit better than using auto, but it's something that you're going to need an ND filter for, really. So over 10 minutes now, 60% battery. So considering the wind, I think it's performing really well, but I just want to touch on the different battery levels. You'll see a potential reserve mode that this drone has. So if you click on the battery icon there, you'll see that it says 11 minutes and 12 until return to home and 15:47 until completely depleted. Now that is the actual figure it gives you all the time on the screen. So there isn't as such a reserve. It's an actual difference between it forces you to land and like that extra, but it's only going to be a couple of minutes. So you might have seen other videos of people saying the Mini 2's got a reserve battery, keep on flying. Well, it really hasn't. If you're actually far away, that could potentially be only 10-20 seconds. So it's really not advisable to use that, and it can damage that battery. So I wouldn't advise doing it, but it's something to be aware of. And you can easily just check out to see how much battery you've got by clicking on that battery icon, and it gives you a few more ideas and options about, should I get that drone back now or can I keep on going? So forced landing is when the drone will automatically descend and you've got control over the sideways pitch and also keeping it hovering in place if need be, or you can also increase that height. But the final one, which is until the battery is depleted, that just comes down fast and you've got no control over it. So you should only use that in complete dire emergencies. But when it says it's going to force landing, that's when you should be getting it back to you, or that's when you should be trying to find a place to land it. Really don't keep going. I know some videos are saying, yeah, we got this reserved, but it's not advisable and it's an easy way of you losing that drone. Right, check this quick shot out. It's a helix, so it's going to fly around in like a circle, but look at that attitude indicator in the corner. It's banking so much, this drone, to try and keep that car in frame. This wind is absolutely abusing the drone today, and you can see there it's trying its best to retain that focus and lock onto the car. It is struggling a lot, but as you can see, it does keep getting that lock straight back on. So if it loses it, it is able to get it back. You'll see though from the final video, when it starts off, it is really choppy. But let's reverse it, take that bit out, and this is what it looks like. So considering the strong wind, it is still able to get that quick shot. You just need to edit the bits out which aren't very stable. So let's look at this battery now. 3 minutes 3 until that return to home will come on, but 4 minutes 46 until the forced landing. So let's just do a few more shots. I'll speed a bit up. But we're up to 17 minutes 43 of flight time. I've been doing different things, and this is in strong winds. But you'll see now, looking at these indicators, it is just an estimate, and it's dependent on how close that drone is to you, what the wind's like. So if you look now, the return to home is saying I've got 2 minutes 6 seconds until that return to home comes on. But as I go further back, it's giving pretty weird readings. It's now gone up to 2 minutes 48. But then as I go a little bit further back, so we're now approaching that 100-meter mark, it's saying 2:44. But then if you keep on checking it out now, it's now just dropped now to 2 minutes, and then again another strong wind warning coming on, still at 2 minutes, and then it just drops suddenly to 1 minute 24. So it is an estimate. So when you get a low battery warning, you need to be getting that battery back to you straight away. Now that low battery return to home has come on, so it has not been 2 minutes 46. It comes on, it's really quickly. And also if you look, until the battery is depleted, 1 minute 35. So if you was far out, you've really not got a lot of time between that return to home coming on and this reserve, which people are saying. So ignore them. It literally is giving you 10-15 seconds extra. So low battery landing's coming on now, and look at this. This is how much that drone is being blown about. But when the force landing comes on, I am able to increase that altitude. I'm able to push the drone to the left and to the right hand side. So it's giving you a bit more options. But only 44 seconds left until it's completely depleted, and it comes down fast, can cause problems to the drone and to the battery. I'm going to put the drone out of its misery and land it now, and then we'll see how long the battery did. So let's have a look now at this final timer. 2 minutes 25 seconds as when the drone landed and the rotators came off. Considering the strong winds today at 34 mile/hour gusts, which is the kind of the height we were at today, I think this is remarkable for the drone to be able to get that sort of times. 31 minutes was a max time in perfect conditions, so you're going to get better than this. But well done to these three: Steve, Danger Drone, It's Me, and Techie252. You got the closest on the estimates of how long this would do, so give yourselves a pat on the back. Well done. Thanks everyone else for entering. I hope you found that video helpful, and it just shows you that the battery is good. You probably get an extra 3-4 minutes if the wind was better as well in these conditions. So that drone's still an utter beast in the air. So thanks so much for watching. Go and give this video a like and subscribe. Check out the other videos, and see you very soon, guys. Take care.